It got to the point where it was not hitting, it was cutting. And it was not good. It was not healthy, obviously. It wasn't healthy. So I had to go through therapy for that. And I also went counseling. Counseling sucked. I feel like counseling is the worst thing you could ever do, especially if it's like uni provided. I don't know. I feel like they don't give two shits about you. Therapy didn't work because I kept putting myself in situations where I could be upset or I could disappoint myself, aka one of my relationships, two of my relationships. So I decided that, okay, I am not gonna go to therapy because this is not helpful. Because myself, I'm not willing to change. I'm not willing to change my environment. So I'd rather not. Wasting my money, wasting a therapist's time, better not. And then I met him. He was my friend for like a year or so. And he saw me at my darkest moment, which was during this time. And he said this one thing when I was on call, because it was like during the time when I was arguing with my ex. It was during those times. So he was my friend, but I was with my ex at that time. But like we were arguing, and my bestest friend, who's a guy, didn't come to me. He went to my ex. So I was left by myself. And only my friend, which is my current boyfriend, he was there. And the one thing that he said was the reason that I'm still here, which was in Korean, it was Goldia, which was his nickname, Goldie for me. Goldia 힘들지, which means you've had it tough, right? And tears kept on going because I felt like finally someone understood and someone like understands like this is not a drill. Like I genuinely don't want to be here anymore. And then ever since then, he kept on making sure that I was okay. He was by my side. But the best part about him is he never once complained when I had a breakdown. So he just let it all out. He let me have all of that negative thoughts and let me have a moment with those negative thoughts, you know, so I could face it head on. So I don't have to keep on keeping it inside all the time or going to therapy and pretending that, oh, it's getting better, it's getting better. It's not. So I had to literally face it head on, face what the hell is wrong with me, which was the root of it all. Is definitely family, definitely previous relationships, definitely previous assaults, all those things. So like he let me face it. And I think that's what made me adore him like so much. Because I've never met someone who's that patient, that understanding, and that loving ever in my life. Yeah.
It feels like he's your therapist.
Yeah, without me having to pay, so that's a bonus.
That was exactly like whatever that you said was exactly what my therapist told me, because
Really?
because I was there for like a month, and I think he was just stacking ammo as I was talking, and like it was getting better and better. And there was a moment where he stopped me and just also said sort of like the same thing as what you just said. I've noticed your personality is very positive. There's always a good that comes out of your life, and you believe in God. So like whatever happens, I know Allah's with me. But could you try sitting down with the negative emotions just once? And I was like, I didn't get it. Like even when he said that, I didn't fully understand what he meant.
Yeah, I get you.
And then I think especially for guys, right, with our ego, we're like, we don't have time to be sad. Like fuck, you know. Exactly. So that was also going through my head. You know, like after we go through a breakup, we straight away go to the gym. Like we don't cry, we go to the gym.
Yeah.
Right. So that was my mindset. And then I didn't understand what he said. So he looked at me and he's like, this is going to be hard, but let me just say this. Like, you saw her in bed with another guy. And I'm just like, yeah? Okay, let's just sit in it. And he just looked into my eyes for like 10 seconds. And I'm like, oh, fuck. This is super weird. And I guess that's what it means to, when people say someone is listening to you or understanding you,
Yeah.
it's actually not fixing anything, you know? It's
Exactly.
just sitting down beside you and being like, yeah, that was hard.
Yeah, exactly. You need someone to tell you, like, what you went through was not okay. Like, you need someone to say that to you, but you yourself need to be ready to hear that,
Yeah.
you know?
And it's hard because like when you're in, I think whenever we talk about these kind of situations, it's very like it's obvious because you're from the outside point of view. But
Yeah.
you are going through like you are literally with your I guess previous relationship, you're like right in front of him that you don't see the problem. And
Yeah.
then your boyfriend now is like from out here and he's like, bro, this is not it. But
Yeah.
it also comes, I would say, I'm also proud of you or like what's the word I'm looking for? Happy that you came out of it yourself because what I've realized is also like is that old saying where you can drag a horse to the water but you can't force it to drink.
Yes. I agree with you.
Yeah, because
Thank
there's
you.
so
That's
many
so
things.
nice.
It is because I I've realized because I was stuck in that situation myself, I realized like there is nothing no one can say to get you out of that situation until you pull yourself out of that situation. Like genuinely. I can share this one story with one of my friends who went through years, like probably 5 to 10 years worth of like going through many different guys, hookup cultures, and really destroying her own mental health. And I've been by her side so many times through like doctors, her trying to like kill herself, all these kind of things. So many different situations,
Yeah,
so many.
yeah.
And then something in my head told me to like contact her after I broke up with my ex. After like many, I've never talked to her for like 2 years at this point. And I think, I don't know, Allah gave me like a sign or something. And I called her and she was like, are you okay? And I swore in my life, I feel like she would have been stuck in this culture for many more years. But she went to therapy for a year and has finally said the words that I wanted to hear. She told me, Hamka, you guys have been helping me for 4 or 5 years. But the past year after going through therapy, the only person who could have saved me was me. And you could have never done anything. So, yeah. Yeah.
That's the truth, isn't it? No matter what you're going through, only you can take yourself out of that situation. As harsh
Yeah.
as it sounds, it's the truth.
It is because, and I think the beautiful thing is like once you realize it or once you get out of it, then you realize and you look back, you're like, oh shit, why was I even in that scene for so long?
Yeah.
There's no way for me to explain like what it's like to go through a. When I say toxic relationship, it's not necessarily like abuse or whatever. Like sometimes it's just not good for you. You know,
Yeah,
two
yeah,
good
yeah,
people
yeah.
can be bad for each other.
Definitely. Facts. I'm proud of you too, by the way.
Let's go,
I'm proud of
G.
you too.
Let's go,
Yeah.
Malay gang. We're not as lazy as we thought we were. Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta prove the Malay culture. Low key, I would go to therapy again just to say hi to the guy and like go through more.
I
But
would
then again,
not. I'd rather not.
but you went. Maybe that's the difference, right? We talked about this on the previous episode where like in each country we need a professional in each. I feel like in their own culture. But you said school counseling was bad, but I went to my school counseling, my uni school counsel, because they are very very prideful of like mental health. They always talk about mental health. So
Oh,
there's
that's so
most
good.
yeah there's more seriousness I guess in Western cultures with mental health, and it was very 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 cheap. Can I say the yeah I can say the price. It was like $25 a session, which is like 50 ringgit.
Mate, I paid 300 for 1 hour.
Yeah, yeah. The friend that I said she went to therapy for like I think yeah $300 SGD. I think so, somewhere there. Mental health I guess hasn't fully come like in its pricing with Asian culture yet. It's still
Yeah,
like
not
coming up
yet.
there. It's not that
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's still
Yeah.
new.
Yeah, it's still new. I would say maybe that's one of the reasons why I'm starting this as well, is like to bring the conversations out, and then from there, I guess maybe 5 to 10 years. I feel like 5 to 10 years is good for people to get there and like actually start talking about mental health. It's such a weird thing because I came to this realization like everything that we do starts with the mind. So why not
Yeah.
have a mind doctor? You know, like someone has to like have this mind doctor thing. Like a psychologist basically.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. But someone to voice it out too.
Yeah, someone to voice it out to or just understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love what you're doing.
I mean, it comes from experience because I went through the same thing. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right now, then, what would you say your mental health would be at out of 10?
10. The
10?
reason being, I have not had a panic attack in so long. Like, so long. And I've never thought that I could ever get out of that. Like, I would get panic attacks the most random times, especially if it's like a lot of people. Like, I feel like I'm underwater when there's so many people around me. Like, that sound, like when you're underwater, that sound,
Yeah,
that's what I
yeah.
hear. And then I start to go in panic mode and I leg it to the toilet and then I have a panic attack. But nowadays, my job is a digital creator. I have to meet so many people, and I never once felt like I was underwater anymore. It was crazy.
Damn, dude. What does
Insane.
panic attack looks like? What does panic attack look like to you?
Oh, obviously breathing so fast. I don't think I've ever breathed that fast, even when I'm exercising. Like it's insane. Like basically hyperventilating. And it's gotten to the point where I saw blue. Like I literally my vision was blue. I saw everything around me was blue. It was crazy. And then to the point where I would black out for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes to an hour. And then I wake up and sometimes I don't even remember what happened.
You don't remember
So
anything?
yeah. No, I have a lot of like gaps in my memories, like during therapy, during childhood, like so many gaps that I don't remember. Like when my sister and I reconciled, I don't remember that. But somehow my sister and I
Seriously?
are like, yeah, because I just remembered when we were young. Yeah, I was an asshole, but who wasn't, as a kid? But like we argued a lot, we fought a lot. But then when we were like, what, 2, 3 years ago? So I was like 19, 20. She told me that, oh, we reconciled when we were like, what, 11, 12, something like that. I'm like, I don't remember that. What the fuck you mean? I just remember you were suddenly nice to me. But apparently she came to my room and she apologized. And we both cried apparently. And I don't remember that. And I hated that I couldn't remember that. That's such a beautiful memory to have with your sister, but I can't remember it.
You must have went through a lot because like to get blackouts, that's usually a sign of like big T trauma of like really you don't want to remember something.